This is your Nonprofit Spotlight Show with Janice Murray.
KHTS. Good morning, Santa Clarita. I am Janice Murray, and we're here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by KHTS Radio. Today, we are here on your hometown station, FM 98.1 and AM 1220. We're going to be highlighting a new, I believe, new nonprofit for the show. Jerry tells me that you guys have never been on. I'm not so sure about that.
No, we haven't.
Okay, well, that's exciting for me. Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. That's the nonprofit we're highlighting today, and we've got Sabina Fetter with us. So good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Tell me your title, your background, and how you got involved with Blue Star Mothers.
Well, I am the president of the Santa Clarita chapter of Blue Star Mothers of America. Mm-hmm. We are a congressionally chartered veteran service organization, mm-hmm. Very much akin to the American Legion and the VFW. And I guess it's been a year since we reestablished the chapter in Santa Clarita. There was one in the past, and it kind of went defunct. We don't talk about it.
Okay.
And so I reestablished it. And what brought me to it? I've been in Santa Clarita for over 40 years. Mm-hmm. Many people who've been out here for a while know me as my family's the one who built Housley Canyon.
Ah, I see.
And Rivendell and all of that. Okay. So that's where I grew up.
Okay.
So I've kind of been here a while.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated from Hart, stayed. Don't know why.
Oh, come on. Because your family's got a legacy here, and you should.
little tiny legacy.
Yeah.
My oldest did about a year and a half at UNLV and then decided that he was going to go into the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And he went off to basic combat training, and I'm kind of a stalker.
Oh.
Like when they played football and stuff like that, I was always really involved. I was involved with the football boosters up at West Ranch, and so once he went into the Army, it's like, okay, I need to know what's going on and when it's going on. I found.
Good luck with that.
Oh, you'd be surprised at the resources of a mother. I found the website for Fort Leonard Wood. I found the company that he was in. Mm-hmm. I found the website for his. He's a combat engineer, so I found that battalion. I found his company, and started communicating on their Facebook page, and then from there pulled most all the people that were in that company out and created a separate Facebook page. So we were all in communication. Well, once he graduated from his advanced training, I was kind of left with the what do I do now? Mm-hmm. Because I still talk to some of these other people, but
the connection's not the same.
Yeah. So I started frantically looking for a place to belong, a group to belong to. And there really isn't, you've got people like the VFW and the American Legion. They have their auxiliary, but those are for, and I am an auxiliary member, those are for daughters, granddaughters, wives of veterans or active duty service members. But what about the mothers?
Oh,
where
interesting. That fell through the cracks, huh?
Well, thankfully,
you were that kind of mother.
Thankfully, 77 years ago, Captain George Maines and General Pershing decided that we were forgotten, and they created Blue Star Mothers of America. Uh-huh. And I found the information, but the local chapter was no longer. Mm-hmm. And I contacted the fourth VP, the national fourth VP, who handles charters and chapters. And she got back to me, said, you need 5 people. I got 5 people and started the chapter in 30 days.
Wow.
So we've been officially a chapter for just about a year now.
Wonderful. Okay, that explains why we haven't had you on before. Because you guys are new babies. Not new to the world, obviously, but new here in Santa Clarita. as an active chapter.
As an active chapter,
Yeah.
yes. So that's what got me started with that. And then my youngest, he's now at University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, and he is Army ROTC.
Wow.
So in 3.5 years, he graduates college as a second lieutenant.
And then you'll be stalking all over again.
Well, he's an officer and has informed me that my stalking will cease.
Yeah, he doesn't know his mother very well, does he? I can tell.
Oh, he knows because I know all of his schoolwork and grades.
Understood. Don't mess with this, Mom. So you sound like the perfect mom to be president of this organization here in Santa Clarita. We know there's a lot of military families here. And so let's talk about what you guys do as an organization here in Santa Clarita.
Well, I think the best way to describe what we do as an organization is that we're bringing our national resources to the local level, much like the other large veteran service organizations. Mm-hmm. And just to kind of touch, February 1st was our 77th anniversary. Yes. So after the attack on Pearl Harbor, there was a conversation between Army Captain George H. Maines and General John Pershing about the morale of the mothers of the service members. Because, again, we're forgotten. Mm-hmm. And so one of the biggest things I would say that we are is we're support for each other.
Wonderful.
Because nobody knows what a mother goes through when their child goes away, in whether they're stateside or, most importantly, deployed. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows what we're going through. We get it. Spouses and kids, they go through a lot. But, you know, they forget about the moms. You know, you can see what's really interesting is I love the little saying of, you know, I respect my heroes, but I gave birth to mine.
Cute.
So I gave birth, or we all of us did,
and that's a bond. That's a bond that's never going to change. So I get it.
Yeah, regardless of how old they are and what attitude they're going through, they always need their mothers. My son's having surgery on his foot and he wants his mommy. Well, he has a wife and we're good there. But yeah, so we support each other. We do care packages. Mm-hmm. We volunteer at the VA. We are on a rotating schedule nationally with the Department of Veterans Affairs, and this is our 2-year term on the board of the Department of Veterans Affairs mm-hmm. for the Veterans Administration Volunteer Services. So we have a representative and a deputy representative, and we volunteer at the VA that is just down in
Westwood.
No. There's a big complex that is in North Hills off of I think Parthenia. It's huge. You'd never know it was there. It's kind of set in a little valley. It has nursing facilities and offers other services to veterans. From what I understand, when we were at orientation last year, they're going to be bringing some of the hospital services up into the San Fernando Valley, which is really important.
Sure.
Going down to Westwood for a lot of vets is difficult. Mm-hmm. So we volunteer. We visit them. We do volunteer what are called stand downs. And stand downs are events that the VA puts on for homeless veterans with services, mental health services, housing services. And those happen, I'd say they happen monthly nationwide, but I would say about every 3 to 4 months in the Southern California area. Mm-hmm. There's a Naked Men Ruck March that's coming up in 2 weeks that we've been asked to volunteer for. It's not naked. It's just a. It's
The
just
name of
a.
the- it's just the title.
It's just the title.
I was getting excited for a minute, but okay.
It's a ruck, and what a ruck is it's the backpack. So that's done to raise funds for veterans. We help families of active duty and veteran service personnel. We assist vets. Primarily, we support our active duty personnel through patriotism and, most importantly, care packages. The thing I want to stress about care packages with us is we do something a little different than, say, an Operation Gratitude or some of the other smaller pop-ups. We do a big campaign at the end of the year, and we send out holiday care packages. But I don't want people to think that's the only time we send out care packages. Whether it's 1 or 1,001, any person, any mom, dad, family member who has a service member that is getting deployed, if we get their APO address, we will send them a care package.
Nice.
I have 10 care packages sitting in my garage ready to go. And we constantly take donations for the
I was
postage.
just going to ask, what's in those care packages?
Oh, what's not in those care packages?
And do you take donations for them?
We do take donations for them. Bed Bath & Beyond was amazing this year. They put a box in both of the locations, the one off of Golden Valley and the one in Stevenson Ranch. And when people were checking out, they encouraged them to purchase toiletries and snacks to put in there. And we were so blessed to get so much from them. I'm also on the Public Relations Committee for Blue Star Mothers of America Incorporated, so for our national. So I have a national job as well. And when I put it on our super secret member page for national, everybody just started looking. And a lot of the Bed Bath & Beyonds nationwide were doing it, not all. But now that all of our chapters know about it, I'm sure all the Bed Bath & Beyonds will be doing it. So I think the thing that we need most when we're dealing with care packages are the donations for postage, because that's where the costs are. It's just a little over $17 to send a priority mail. It doesn't matter where we send it.
Wow.
And that's the USPS special rate. DOD is working on a program to get that lowered for us. But we send it's about a 12 by 8, the standard priority mailbox. And in that box, we put toiletries, so razors, soap, foot powder, baby wipes. One thing that people don't understand is when they're in the sandbox. And the sandbox refers to the Middle East. When they are in the sandbox, they don't get to shower. So what they get is baby wipes. So we send them lots of baby wipes. We send them deodorant, shampoo, body soap. We can send shaving cream like in a tube, but we can't send the actual aerosol. Aerosols are prohibited.
Of course, in the mail.
We can't send the like Purell. We can't send that anymore either.
And I'm sure
fine.
the deodorant needs to be stick
deodorant, not spray deodorant. Then we send playing cards, puzzle books, magazines, books to read. And then there's the good stuff. The cup of noodles, the ramen, the candy, Girl Scout cookies. We are very fortunate to have a great relationship with the Northern Los Angeles Girl Scout
chapter or organization.
The regional. At the end of Girl Scout cookie season, they give us all their leftovers. So last year, we had 60 cases.
Oh my goodness.
And that's cases, not boxes.
I'm hearing you. Wow.
Cases of Girl Scout cookies. So every soldier, airman, Marine, sailor got at least 2 boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
Nice.
In their care packages. So they get Girl Scout cookies, they get candy, they get jerky, licorice. The Bed Bath & Beyond thing, we got so much of those little fruit snacks that we have so many fruit snacks left over. We don't need fruit snacks.
Okay. I won't list that when I post it.
Yeah, we don't need fruit snacks. We have plenty of fruit snacks. And I can give you a list of everything. The playing cards and stuff like that's really important to them too, because there are some places where they're going that they're really not doing anything.
I would imagine they don't have internet or web access.
They do have internet. The thing is the what's called OPSEC, operational security. Mm-hmm. So
kind of limits.
It limits what they can do. Some of them do post on the sly, but the one thing I can say about OPSEC is even people that are friends with me on Facebook, I never post. Even with my kid that's in ROTC, I never post if I see them. Mm-hmm. For example, I had Boots in the house over the holidays. I didn't post what was going on the day it happened. Mm-hmm. I never geotag. I never tag my kids in a post.
Good.
I will say, my soldiers here, my cadets here, this is, what we're doing. But for a perfect example, one of the things we started doing is Heroes Home for the Holidays dinner at the American Legion. And we did it for all the active duty service men and women who were home in Santa Clarita. It was open to everybody. Nice. And that's one of the things we raised money for, is to make sure that we can do these extra little things. Mm-hmm. I didn't post those pictures until 2 days later, because you can tell it was at the Legion. We don't need people to know.
No, understood.
When I was visiting my son over the Labor Day weekend, I didn't post those pictures until a week later. Mm-hmm. So it's all about making sure, even if they're stateside, I think this is the one thing a lot of people don't understand, is that even if your service member is home, whether you're visiting them at their base or whether you're going on a little vacation, you don't want to post. You can post pictures, but you don't want to post them that day, and you don't want to post where you are, because there's so many crazies out there that they'll be like, oh, hey, look, there's a member of our military. I know where he is. I'm going to go to that location and just go postal. No, you don't want to do that, because you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting everybody else at risk. Mm-hmm. So we're very, very sensitive to following OPSEC. And but as far as fundraising, we've got so much coming up.
We're going to talk about what all is coming up in the next segment, but I just want everybody to know we are here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show. We're talking with Sabina Fetter, and we're highlighting the Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. They are part of the national organization Blue Star Mothers of America. So I'm sure some of the things that you do fall under their purview or their guidelines, but here today we're talking about what happens with the Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. And I know that we've got plenty mothers, plenty families that are concerned about their service members, sons or daughters. And so this organization sounds like is a good way to stay connected, support each other as you're going through, dealing with a son or a daughter who has been deployed or who's choosing to go into the service. This is just a wonderful way for family members, not just mothers, I'm sure, but family members to get together and support them.
And I'll explain how our membership works. But it's not just active duty. We do have mothers of veterans, and we also have Gold Star mothers.
Wonderful. Real quick, how does the membership work?
Well,
is there a fee to join?
We have what are called members in good standing. So I was explaining earlier. Think of a sports team, high school. Mm-hmm. So I had a son. Both my kids played football, but at one point I had one son playing football, and we would go to a booster meeting and we would have a vote. And both my husband and I would be there, but only one person gets to vote. Yeah. So only one mother gets to vote. So any mother, grandmother, stepmother, foster mother, that mother has the ability to become a member in good standing and have voting status for $30. Anybody else? Sister, brother, Blue Star dad, aunts, anybody in the community that has a desire to support can become an associate member for absolutely nothing.
Wonderful. Do you have a website or a way that we can get more information?
Absolutely.
Or a phone number even?
Absolutely. Well, I have a phone number.
Okay.
It's my cell phone. It's 661-212-8158. And then our website is bluestarmothersofsantaclarita.org.
Spelled out Santa Clarita?
Yes.
Excellent.
And we have a Facebook page, which is Blue Star Mothers of SCV.
Okay.
I had to shorten it for Facebook.
All right. We are here on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by KHTS Radio. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk more with Sabina Feathers and Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. Don't go away.
Your Nonprofit Spotlight Show with Janice Murray. KHTS.
We are back on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show. I am Janice Murray, and we're here today by way of KHTS Radio. We're on your hometown station, FM 98.1 and AM 1220. We are going to get back into our conversation with Sabina Fetter. We're here highlighting the Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. They can be reached at www.bluestarmothersofsantaclarita.org. or 661-212-8158 if you're looking for more information. This next segment, we've got a lot of information. We're going to talk about what's coming up, some fun things, ways that the community can help support the Blue Star Mothers and get involved. So let's talk about that.
Okay. Sorry. Some of the things that we do that are givens, that are official, because we do have an official uniform.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have a...
You didn't come in official uniform for us today?
No, I didn't, because we're on radio.
Oh, that's what you thought. That's like, I didn't comb my hair today because we're on radio.
I am wearing a Blue Star Mothers official merchandise.
Okay.
I just, what we do when we are doing official duties
events
is we wear a blue suit, white blouse,
Ooh.
and we have what's called a garrison hat. Kind of looks like the little hats they wear at In-N-Out.
Okie dokie. I know what you're talking about. But I bet you guys look sharp.
The guys at the Legion have them too.
Oh.
And I think the VFW as well. So we all wear the same little hats. It's fun.
Cute.
So our official events and duties are Memorial Day, Veterans Day.
Of course.
We do participate in the city events with that. For Memorial Day, we assist with the setup and we lay a wreath. And for Veterans Day, we also assist as well. 4th of July parade, we actually had such a blast in the parade. I can't wait to plan what we're going to do this year. There's Gold Star Mother's Day, which we're going to make sure that we get a lovely brunch set up for this year. And then there's other things that we do. So April... right now we're working on planning a children's event. I believe it's Sunday, April 7th. at the American Legion. And I just want to say the American Legion has been so wonderful and welcoming to us. And Blue Star Mothers of America, as well as our chapter, have been working a lot closer recently with the American Legion. Many of our chapters meet at American Legion halls.
Oh, good.
So they just were so accommodating and so welcome. And the VFW is as well. They're just way up Sierra Highway. And we want to make sure that we're located sort of center town.
Sure.
And what's really neat is the historical value of the meeting, the space where the American Legion Hall is.
Are you meeting up behind the
behind the library? That building is so cool. Did you know that it's it's the original movie theater
for Santa Clarita?
Yeah, right across from the original jailhouse. Yeah,
Really?
it was the original movie theater. That building is very cool.
Okay.
It smells really old inside because it is.
It is really old.
But it's very cool. I mean, they've made changes and added on to it, but a lot of the original features are still there. They use the projection room as their office. It's like the coolest thing.
Wow.
I kind of geek over that kind of stuff. So, but they've been so welcoming. So anything that they do, anything that we can do to help them, and vice versa, it's been an amazing partnership. We help with our goal as a veteran service organization is to assist the active duty families as well as veteran families, and the American Legions, they're a veteran service organization and they are very community based. I mean, they have that hall, which is amazing. There's like music there at least 3 times a week.
Wow.
Or a month, sorry. And we operate the kitchen as a fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
For both the Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita and the American Legion Hall.
Okay.
So I'm in culinary school, so
Oh boy,
they get good
their
food.
level of food is getting ready to get a step
Yeah.
up.
So what we're doing, so we do a lot of our events there, and it's such a great venue. So for April 7th and for April for the month of the military child, we are working on a children's event, sort of like a carnival, like with a magician and carnival games and maybe a couple bouncy houses.
Easy.
And just a really fun event for the kids. And it's going to be open to everybody, not just military children, but we do want to reach out and make sure that the military families that are in Santa Clarita, whether they're active duty or veteran families, that we're doing something special for them. And all facets of the American Legion will have representation: the Sons, the Riders, the Auxiliary, as well as Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. And so that's a fun event. So that's April. May, clearly, is Memorial Day. And then we're planning on, in the off months, of doing something special. We do the second Sunday of every month. We have what we call coffee and camaraderie. So at 11 a.m., and that's this Sunday, at 11 a.m. at the American Legion, you can come, have some coffee, have a little nosh. Sometimes there's fruit, sometimes there's donuts, and it's not like our regular monthly meetings. This is a time that we just sit and talk. So what we have really focused on with our second Sunday is that there are a lot of service members, their families, and veterans in Santa Clarita that don't have a place to go and feel comfortable.
Wow.
They don't have a place to where they can talk. So what our goal is with Coffee and Camaraderie is a place for these service members, veterans, and family members to have a safe space to come and talk and to maybe get some resources for help if necessary. I think that that's one thing that's lacking out here is kind of like a support group,
Okay.
so to speak. There's an organization that Blue Star Mothers of America supports. At the end of every fiscal year, we donate 30% of our profits to other veteran service organizations. And one of them is Warrior's Journey Home. And it's a really interesting organization. They treat what is considered the moral injury, which sits on top of PTSD. It's the guilt that comes from being deployed and maybe killing somebody. And yes, PTSD is treated many different ways, and there's many different forms of it, but there's also the moral injury. And what they do is, and they're not in California at all, which they impart all sorts of different techniques. They use this, they use like a Native American talking stick. So as they go around in the circle, they pass the talking stick around. So what we felt would be really important is to just have a safe space at least once a month to where anybody who's having any issues, whether they're a veteran, active duty, or a family member, because it's not just moms and wives, it's brothers and sisters. So there's a place where they can go at 11 a.m. at the American Legion back in the hall and get support and know that it's a safe space due to OPSEC to talk. And if we know of the resources to send them to, we'll get them those resources, or we'll research and get them those resources.
Wonderful.
So these are a lot of the things that we do that money that we raise goes to help. And it's just, the thing that I think is amazing is whether somebody's a qualifying mother member, so a voting member, or whether they're an associate, the support that we get and we give and the bonds that are formed last a lifetime. We've got members nationwide who their kids are out, they're still members.
Of course.
We have
'Cause now their kids are vets.
We have Gold Star parents. Gold Star mothers who I couldn't even imagine. And, I do get more of a sense of it. One of the things that Blue Star Mothers of America does that we do, when I said we bring the national resources here, is we have a program, it's called Blue to Gold. When a service member's star goes from blue to gold, it is Blue Star Mothers of America that provides the family with their Gold Star banner. And I have, in the year that we've been instituted, we have presented 3.
Here in Santa Clarita?
In Santa Clarita.
Wow.
The last one was Jake Solly. That, for me, was the hardest because I was his mother's hairdresser.
Oh, wow.
I knew the boys when they were little. And it was, I can't imagine how heart-wrenching it is for Tina and for the father and for Dom. I can only imagine. With as difficult as it was for me to present that family with their Gold Star. And it's sobering. But at the same time, I welcome all Gold Star moms. into our organization because, again, the mothers, it's why we were instituted, the morale of the mothers of military personnel, whether they're military personnel or active duty or veterans. We're the ones that get forgotten, but we're not forgotten anymore. We haven't been forgotten for 77 years. And it's important I feel for all military families in Santa Clarita to know that we are here. You know, the vets, they got their organizations. They got the VFW, they got the American Legion. But the moms need to know they have us. And whether they want to be a voting member or just an associate, we want everybody. The more moms, the merrier. So that's pretty much what we've got going for the year.
We've got about 4 minutes left in
Okay.
this segment. Anything else that you want to talk about? Anything in terms of like the specific resources or support that you give to active duty or veterans working with other organizations?
Well, I would like to, I kind of touched on our 77 years. I think it's really important to go over the history
Wonderful.
of Blue Star Mothers of America.
Wonderful.
So February 1st was the
How
anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
And following the attack on Pearl Harbor, there was a conversation by Captain George H. Maines and General John Pershing about the morale of mothers of military personnel and the direct effect that has on the personnel. Because if mama ain't happy,
That's what they say.
yeah, you want your mama to be happy. And so
And conversely, if mama is strong and can help
exactly.
kinda set the tone for the family on how we handle things.
And talk them off the ledge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So on February 1st, 1942, it was actually that, it was just before that, on January 21st, that the idea was formed. And the very next day, a coupon was printed in the newspaper, the Flint, Michigan newspaper, as kind of a survey for mothers.
Okay.
And 358 mothers answered. And on February 1st at the Durant Hotel in Flint, Michigan, there was a unanimous vote by 358 mothers of military service personnel to form a permanent chapter. So we have volunteered in all aspects through times of war. Hospitals, train stations, care packages. We volunteer as part of Homeland Security. And although the chapter has grown and ebbed, I will say it's always been held together by the moms because we show pride in our children. We promote patriotism. And recently, since 9/11, Blue Star mothers started hanging the Blue Star flags in our windows again, proclaiming that we are the mothers of children that protect our freedoms. So we promote patriotism. We support active duty families. Whether we do reach out a little bit more than Santa Clarita, just because the closest chapter to us, there's one in Riverside and then one down below LAX. So we also reach out, and there's one in Bakersfield and one in Moore Park. We reach out more like northern San Fernando Valley as well. So anybody in need, we make sure that we're there for and provide services.
Wonderful.
And support.
Wonderful. Again, we are talking with Sabine Feathers. We are here with Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita, and the phone number, if you want more information, is 661-212-8158. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up this hour.
Your Nonprofit Spotlight Show with Janice Murray. KHTS.
We're back on the Nonprofit Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by KHTS Radio, AM 1220 and FM 98.1, your hometown station. We're here today. We've been highlighting Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita with Sabina Fetter. And Blue Star Mothers is an organization of mothers of children who are serving in the armed forces of the United States or who have served or have been honorably discharged. They are a service organization and a support organization for mothers and families. And we, in the last segment, talked about a lot of things that you guys do, events and things that you've got coming up. Where do you want to go with this last segment?
Well,
What's important to you?
What's important to us? Two things: members and money.
Oh, thank you for being honest. You know what?
I'm being honest.
I usually do ask at some point in the show, especially if you've got an event coming up, can people make donations or how can they volunteer?
Absolutely.
But membership here in Santa Clarita, you are a year strong with this new active chapter.
Yes.
And you take members at any time of the year or at a specific
Any
time?
time of the year. Preferably towards the beginning of the year. Our fiscal year starts September 1st. So, and that's all memberships are due at that time. So we do a little more of a push the first quarter.
Okay.
Because then you're not dealing with having to pay
But
membership.
somebody doesn't have to do the math.
Yeah.
Prorate or
there's
rebate.
there is no prorate.
I figured that. That's why you were firm about
The Congress of the United States gave us a charter. There ain't no prorating.
Okay.
Unfortunately, due to our congressional obligations.
But your membership fee is one of the least expensive of any I've ever heard of.
I know. It's only $30. So if you are a mother, grandmother, aunt, basically any person who was the mother of that service member. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be
Who acted
the
as
birth
or-
mother.
Understood.
One qualifying mother is $30.
Okay.
That doesn't say that, hey, you can't afford the $30, that we're going to turn you away. You're just not a voting member. You don't get to, you get input, but you don't get to decide on our policies and procedures.
Understood. And to some people, maybe that's not as important.
Yeah, it's no fun. To some people, I enjoy it. So our associate members
Or everybody else,
is
right?
everybody else.
Stepmom, aunt, sibling,
Blue Star
Blue Star
Dad. I've even had requests of service members that are up here that want to be involved, and they're welcome to be involved. I would love to have them as an associate, and I know the American Legion would love to have them as a member as well. We do direct our service members and veterans to join because it's not just a club. They do great things for the community, and aside from being a member or an associate member, we do need money to do the wonderful things that we do. Especially with Memorial Day and Veterans Day, we work with the American Legion. The American Legion provides a free meal, barbecue, whatever, after the events Memorial Day is up at Eternal Valley and Veterans Plaza. They invite everybody over. The same thing with the 4th of July, and we provide about 80% of the food that is eaten by the community, and we're talking at least 200 people. So, and we make most of it because we have an issue with buying food. So, moms and all. So we do provide the food for those events, as well as with the care packages and the mailing and the stand downs and any family in need, financial need, we assist. We also assist with other smaller nonprofits that at the end of the year, if we've got extra profits left over, that we will help donate money to those as well.
So how can someone make a financial donation to you?
On our website, we have a donate button.
And that website is
www.bluestarmothersofsantaclarita.org.
Yes.
And we take PayPal, we take Venmo, we take cash, we take checks.
You guys make it easy.
Yes, we do.
Wonderful.
We can also, if you want to directly donate through credit card, we do take credit cards as well.
Mm-hmm. And you said earlier when we were talking about the care packages, which you send out multiple, just hundreds of those, the biggest need right now is the postage.
The postage.
So a financial donation instead of an item like, the shampoos or the food or the candy or whatever that would go that box.
As far as the items, we do drives for those.
Got it.
About 3 times a year.
Oh.
But for
them,
the postage, it's the postage that really is the most.
Okay.
And, also if, they want to come, you can come to our Sunday coffee and camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
You can get information about joining then.
That's the second Sunday of every month.
Second Sunday of every month at 11 a.m. And that's followed by the 5 p.m. Blues Society Blues Jam, which is awesome. The music they do at the Legion is amazing. And then the third Tuesday of every month at 6:30 at the American Legion is our general monthly meeting. And as I said before, we are a VSO chartered by the United States Congress, so all of our meetings are open to the public.
Wonderful. Well, we absolutely appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. I know it's crazy right now for you. You got a lot on your plate, but we appreciate you taking time out. And as with all service members, we appreciate your son's service, taking care and keeping us safe. That's huge. So good luck to you. Good luck to the organization. Again, Blue Star Mothers of Santa Clarita. You can find them on Facebook, Blue Star Mothers of SCV, or at www.bluestarmothersofsantaclarita.org. If you